Africa television o bunda nyina bi lungola be lafila puruka na fero kale nang jane commission me yalon ko wolemu kiskisire bundati me yalon president Adam Barrow kabira sita mansa kunda nyinto Gambia banko kanjang commission nying yalon dile ka bo sanje killing kata fo talanteo kono itarta sirine ka molu soto men yalon ko president Yaya Jammeh alamman sakunda la maralo koto ani la donyo malu ya kuol menu tamandi Gambia banko nyin toya kamala wo dalilo kan commission nyin dung bi lungola karola ko lundolu mom lu kana me yalon ko e ka wollel kumandi pour mari ñol sine danku ka senandiro ke nyinin kar kuolla me yalon ko wolbe dendin kiskisirol nyinna jane commission dung badi ngolo nal hakilo bakan in mu mollet min yalon ko la doku woni ka ke Jambe hotel le bidung nin ala ke ay Africa television o bunda be nafero kelale drinkerala dam yalon ko wala mu jane commission ti ani mol min yalon ko bi wala minale je alse bismillah ay Africa toyala nin jane commission se tenten bi lungola ala baraka.
Can you swear him in, please?
Good morning. Thank you.
I swear by the Almighty Allah that
I swear by the Almighty Allah that
evidence I shall give to this commission
the evidence I shall give to this commission
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
so help me Allah.
So help me Allah. Thank you.
Could you kindly state your full name to the commission?
My names are Momodu Fatoumata Kalilu Koli.
Where do you live, Mr. Kuli?
I live in Kololi.
What work do you do at the moment?
Pardon?
What work are you doing at the moment?
I was a civil servant.
Yes, what work are you doing at the moment? At the moment, what are you doing?
Retired civil servant.
You are unemployed? Are you saying you are unemployed at the moment?
Excuse me?
Are you unemployed at the moment?
Presently?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
I'm a
what-
private
what-
practitioner.
You worked, you said you're a retired civil servant.
Yes,
What
please.
office did you retire from?
I retired as Director of Fiscal Planning.
You also served as a minister.
I served as a minister and I was relieved.
Okay, please sit down. Please sit down, you can take a seat. Mr. Colley, you said you served as minister?
Pardon?
You said you served as minister.
I serve as a minister, yes.
Which portfolio?
Ministry of Lands and Regional Government.
During what period? How long did you serve? Give us the period during which you served.
My period, I was appointed 7th of July 2013 to 14th of July 2014. I was relieved.
Before that, what did you serve in the public?
Before that, I was with physical planning.
Physical planning. What office did you hold at physical planning?
I stepped on various sections and positions at the physical planning up to the level of the director.
When you left physical planning, what office did you hold?
I was the director then.
Director of physical planning.
Physical planning.
How long did you serve in the physical planning department?
I served as director 5 years.
How long altogether did you work in the Department of Physical Planning?
33 years.
33 years.
Yes, please.
What year did you start?
1982.
Is that your only office in government, physical planning? Did you only work in physical planning?
Then it was the Department of Housing and Building Control Services.
Housing and Building Control Services.
Yes, please.
When did it become Department of Physical Planning and Development Control?
In mid-1980,
what is your professional qualification? Do you have any?
I am a construction engineer.
Mr. Colley, you've been someone in connection to leases that you approved and issued when you were Minister for Lands and Regional Government. Was that the name of the ministry, Lands and Regional Government? It kept on changing.
At my time, yes.
During your time, okay. You spent 1 year.
Yeah.
According to your testimony, 1 year.
Less 17 days, yeah.
July to, 1 year, 7 days.
Less 13 days.
Yes. Now, there are some files that we have brought. We have 4 leases that you issued. And we retrieved the files in respect of these leases. 4 leases that you issued to Kanilai Family Farms.
Yes.
Which, according to the records before this commission, is a company that belonged to the ex-president.
Yeah.
All these leases are within the Kanifing municipality. All these leases are within the Kanifing municipality.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the leases. When we retrieved the files from the Department of Lands and Surveys, there was hardly anything in these files to tell us how these leases were granted. One, the Kanilai family, there is no application from Kanilai Family Farms to show that they applied for these leases. In fact, the files don't even have minute sheets. We'll start with Exhibit LL2A1. And I'm going to hand over the file to you shortly. But for the record, this is a lease of land in Kotu. And basically, it's land between the junction of the Kotu Power Station on Batil Harding Highway stretching to the rice fields and comprises some 20.64 hectares. And according to the Greater Banjul Master Plan, which we looked at, this lease covered an institutional area. It also covered a forest, part of the forest that was according to the master plan, and some gardens. Okay. I'm going to give you the file. I would like to understand from you why this lease was issued, because as I said, there's nothing in the file, there are no minutes, but it was signed by what looks like your signature, and it was also signed by the ex-president. Okay. The second list, I'll give you all of them because they all basically have the same. The second list is again Kotu Point. I'm going to give you all so you can take a look at it. It's 21.39 hectares. This time, it's the land falling behind Palmarima Hotel, stretching through Badala Park Hotel, and the neighboring lands include Dunes Hotel, Liptis Hotel, International Tourism Investment, Kunta Kinte, and Palm Beach. So it's a long stretch of land, and as I said, total 21.39 hectares. Again, there's nothing in the file to indicate why this was leased to the ex-president. There is no application by Kanilai Family Farms, but we have your signature and the signature of the ex-president on the lease. The third lease is for land in Kotu again, and it's exhibit LL2A6. The one I gave him, please, can you check the exhibit number for me? The last one I gave him.
LL2A1.
The one, and the second one is LL?
2A2.
2A2.
Yes, please.
The one I'm going to give you, the third one, is Kotu Quarry, comprising 19.7 hectares and covering the entire quarry. Again, there is nothing in the file, but the lease is signed by yourself and the ex-president for Kanilai Family Farms. The fourth one and last is a lease in, is land in Old Joshua. It's said to be in Old Joshua, but stretching from the Old Cape Road and comprising 3.69 hectares. This is partly wetland also, and according to Greater Banjul Master Plan. That's the fourth property.
Yes, ma'am. I was fully.
Yes, we would like you to explain.
Yes, I was fully aware of these 4 files.
Yes.
During the time when it was brought to me for approval.
During the time?
When it was brought to my desk for approval. Then the permanent secretary I had is also serving as Director of Lands, double in as permanent secretary to me.
What is the name of this permanent secretary?
The late Malamin Jata. Upon verifying the files, I objected. Not for the owner to have it or whoever wants to have it, but for the fact that procedures have to be applied. And to avoid waste of time, knowing who owns it, I said, look, I will approve, director, you as director and as my permanent secretary, make sure it goes through the right processes and then put in necessary and relevant documents in each of these files. That was my verbal instruction.
That was your?
My verbal instruction to the then permanent secretary. So I'm surprised to see them without them having it in.
Mr. Koli, you worked for a long time in the ministry, under the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, and it had various names at various times, local government, regional government. 33 years is a long time, and you rose to the position of Director of Physical Planning. Anyone who has property, a leasehold property, is aware of the procedure. And there is no file that I have seen where leases have issued and the procedure was applied, where you did not have minutes back and forth from the officers up to the minister. There are no minutes in these files. Why is that?
Negligence of the staff under me. Perhaps they might have been forced in any way or the other, but that's not to my knowledge.
Isn't the file supposed to have come to you with a minute from the director to the permanent
Everything
secretary?
should have come through right channels and procedures, but unfortunately in these circumstances they failed to do. And upon my verification, I said, look, whatever conditions you might have brought this to me, I am granting my approval. Make sure you insert in the relevant documents.
But there was nothing minuted to you, yet you signed. That's my concern. There is nothing at all. You said you gave verbal instructions. That's well and good, but you did issue the leases, and the lessee also signed. This should have been the your last act, isn't it? Signing the lease.
I have been advised. As you can see, all these lease documents have been signed by various technicians up to the permanent secretary and then to me. But upon that, I still show my dissatisfaction the way it is going, and I express and give verbal instructions.
Unfortunately, for us, there is nothing on record at all to confirm what you have said. And the person to whom you spoke, you have told us is dead. The second issue I have, apart from the fact that no process was followed, is the fact that all these leases indicate on the master plan that they were partly wetlands, which cannot be leased out at all. My understanding is that wetlands because the water is supposed to drain into them, and they are not to be allocated. Is that understanding correct?
Yes. These are Ramsar Convention, International Convention to preserve these areas. But farming is not disallowed on them. You can farm on them, but you cannot develop on them.
Farming is not disallowed?
No, agriculture is not disallowed on them, where it's possible, because some areas may be salty. If you put anything there, it will not grow or yield anything for you. Other than that, you can farm on them.
I see that the one for Kotu is partly institutional and partly forest and partly, of course, for vegetable gardening.
Well, here we don't have forests. We have wetlands. Forest reserves are quite different from these ones.
The master plan shows that there was a portion that is forest. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy right now. Physical planning was supposed to send me a copy. Yeah. Apart from the fact that you're saying you can do agriculture on them, there was a procedure for, whilst you were at physical planning, for approving the Greater Banjul Master Plan.
Yes.
Is that not so?
Yes, please.
This was in the 90s when the Greater Banjul Master Plan, in 89 to 91, when the Greater Banjul Master Plan was approved.
Yes, please.
Isn't it correct that the Act also provides for the case where you want to amend the master plan? I asked you this question because you're an expert and you worked as director of physical planning for 5 years.
In the certain circumstances.
Isn't there a laid out procedure for amending the land use on the master plan?
Yeah, but in this particular case, no land use required.
Sorry?
As far as all these files are on agriculture, no changes is required.
No changes were required.
No.
Why?
For the purpose it's going to serve.
For the purpose of?
Because of the purpose it's going to serve. Agriculture.
Okay. Because you were allocating it for agriculture, you did not have to change.
Yeah, because he is going to use it for agricultural purposes, you don't need to change.
If you're changing from institutional to agriculture, you don't need to have a change of use.
You should have. Even from certain agricultural lands to residential or any other purpose requires a change of use.
But there is nothing in the file to show that there was any such change of use.
This is a special and a quite different case from any other thing.
Why?
The person who appointed me as minister to approve can dismiss me anytime he likes.
So because you didn't want to be dismissed?
I don't want to be dismissed.
That's why you approved it?
That is the right thing. I don't want to be dismissed. But I can guide and advise, which I did.
Did you ever engage him on these to say, well, sir, this is the situation, this is what the law says regarding these properties, we need to go through this process?
In fact, we challenge each other on many issues that I cannot count, and this is one of the reasons why I was relieved from my ministerial position.
Challenge him how? On what issue? Just give us an example.
I don't think those issues are not matter for the commission.
Okay. So on these land issues, you never challenged him?
I challenged him on several cases, not this once.
What was the basis of your challenge? As far as our own mandate?
Challenge this one. I said it. I never challenge this one. I only give an instruction to call the attention of the people under me to go by the rules.
But once you sign, what is there to go by? I don't understand. But that's that. One of the main regulators of the Physical Planning and Development Control Act.
In fact, I was a key player.
Indeed. So can you, first of all, my first question is, can you change a green belt for an individual for private use?
If it is an advice you seek, I will not do it. If it is an advice, I will not do it. Unless you're going to use it for the purpose of a green belt.
Unless, sorry?
You're going to use it for the purpose of a green belt.
Okay.
Other than I will not give.
Isn't there a procedure for whatever you wish to change?
As far as green belt is concerned, I said I have never experienced green belt being put into change of use through my tenure as 33 years.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll take these. You did make 2 statements.
Yes, please.
Could you kindly identify your statements? And the second one is not signed. If you could kindly sign it so we can admit it. You agree? Do you agree with me, Mr. Colley,
Yes, please.
Before, yes, just sign the second statement, which is not signed, and date it.
What is it today? Just today's date?
Put this back in pouch. Do you agree with me that all these leases that you signed with the ex-president were improperly issued?
Exactly so.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, may I apply to have two statements made by this witness, Momodu F.K. Koli? This one is not signed. In respect of leases assigned to the Kanilai Family Farms and signed by the ex-president on behalf of Kanilai Family Farms.
Assalamu alaikum badingolo konga fale nyamen drong bebe dendin jane commission olla mi yalon ko wolebe ke kan nyinte mboto jembe hotel mo folo mi yalon ko wole nata bilungala pour kana nyinin karol ning jabirol la karola wole keta moti mi yalon ko ako atomu momodu fatima kalilu kolilete ate mo molti mi yalon ko ya nyinin ka dalilo menna wolem nyinte ko kabiren abe place o marakanu Gambia banko kanjang place o nying mi yalon ko wole keta minister place oti dinkra dam yalon ko wollel malta physical planning anin keno la ko nyina ay kenen nani leta akadi dinkra la dam yalon ko wole mu Kanilai Family Farm kafo nying ay kenen nani le dila anun kayto nying atening president member nun Gambia banko kan jannu president ya jamme ani wole wo signerol ninke kenol mi yalon ko ay wollel di kene folo wola hectaro konto tatale hectare muang anin talante taworo o hectare muang nying adi dinkramento wole mu ko tuti anun dinkralem dami yalon ko keno nyimme yalon ko aya dije adi Kanilai Family Farm lela fulanjango mi alon ko wole keta kenoti ay men fanan di kayto la landiro la karola wo keno nyin fanan atata le fo hectare muang anin killing hectare muang nin killing nyin fanan aya di dinkra mento fanna minna ka fo badala park hotel nyolo dandangola wo hectare rol nyin nankamol be o tarambulo nyinela another hectare sabanyon men fana yalon ko kenol la karola men nudi o tata la fo hectare tang anin kononto anin tombe woro la wol mu fenet me yalon ko ay wodi ko tu kware law ma fon la ko tu kware law janjang la je nyin keno mu kenelte me yalon ko ay wole di kayto la karola membe dending jamme la dinkra la dame mu Kanilai Family Farm ti kenen nani jang me yalon ko ate Momodu Koli ay wala di wala keta all Jos wanna mafon la all Cape Road la o silo nyin na o kartantangol la keno nyin tata le fo hectare saba anin tombi taworo nin warawla wo be mu kenol te mi yalon ko ay wala di jammela dinkira la dam yalon ko wolem kanila family famti kabirin nyinin karo bunda ka bonang mo bulu mi yalon ko wala be commission nyina karola memo madame Bensudati aya fay ko kaytol men yalon ko ay signé ate Mr. Koli o kaytolu la signé ro nyanda kala ni sartol la karola men yalon ko wo sartol nyanta ma fala kayti safere la karola janni signé ro mina Mr. Koli ate meta ni je wala nyinte ko de to nya ay kaytol signé le bari ate men fonum wala nyinte ko men ya kayto na fay nang ala permanent secretary anala director ay amar kuma kan dilale ko ise kaytol nyinta menu be nyanda topotola kake sediaranti pour kaje ko o kaytol ye parendi e setara file nyin kono ako bara katate jakal ku balti bayring kaytol sainten na e manke fendi me alon ko e tartama bering o file nyin kono ko ataye e yamaro dinu nyame ane a jikita la nyame nata tendem fanan ka nyinin karo dia ate Mr. Kolila madame Bensuda kay ko sainten be nyinin kala men na wolem nyinti ko fo ese aitandi commission nyina pour ka to nyaandi ko kaytol men yalon ko ebe dandi nyin kenen nano nyina kola ko yew kenol nyina kaytol ta ye signé bari amanke nin silola mi yalon ko sartol yalandi nyame Mr. Momodu Koli ay ayitandiro ke kode tonya a sonta o kola la ko ay nyin kenol dile bari amanke ko sartolu menu nyanta kam mafa wolel mafata anata o itandi commission nyinna ano ate Mr. Momodu Koli ko ay alay itandiro la karola dron ya nyinin ka afay ko ay doku dati Gambia mansa kunda kono ay sanji jolle keje akode sanji tan sabani saba wucho kono aba doku wala Gambia mansa kunda fanna mi alon ko wole marta kenol la dikolo ani topoto role nyin Kenya la memo physical planning akode atemu molti me yalon ko ay director ya place hotale camera o director ya place o nyindum o mu fenneti
Momodu F. Koli, witness number 235, respectively dated 6 August 2018 and 14th August 2018. Read, approval of 3 leases in different locations to ex-President Jammeh, to wit, Old Joshua, Kotu Quarry, and Kotu Point, near Kunta Kinte Hotel. Admitted Mark MS 286.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one final question. As a long-serving officer in the Department of Physical Planning, what was the basis? By the time you served in 2013, 2014, numerous leases had been given to the president. And the records, it was very clear from the records, either directly or through Kanilai family farms. We're trying to at least have an insight into really what was going on, why the president would want to acquire all these leases, and why maybe serving officers also just went along with him, at least from your department, and leased to him a significant part of land in the country. I don't know whether you can shed light, say anything that would be helpful, useful to this commission.
Yes, please. If we were to look at the situation in the country at the time, it was really unfortunate for we as Gambians. But looking at somebody who wants to have everything by himself and nobody else, I consider that person as somebody insane. And I was never against any of his attitude because I believe land is not an item that can be put in a pocket. Whether you want to have the whole Gambia, you have it, 11,500 square kilometers, you can have it, but you can never go dive with it or carry with it along. That's my number one principle I see that person to be. Second, the man's action and the rule of law has changed the attitude of Gambians. Even whereas they themselves are arguing over a piece of land, one of them will dodge and go to him, try to sell that land to him. Eventually, they attract him to be interested in switching over to such lands. That made him grow fat-headed, and as such, he wants to own all of us and our properties. Second, the Department of Physical Planning does not determine any ownership over land in this country. We only deal with change of use, land use. We zone the whole land of the Gambia into zones. And we have this one guided by principles, guidelines, and regulations. For example, areas that are identified for agriculture, you can only do purely agricultural activities on such areas. We have woodlands and the forest cover. That should be left naturally for our habitats and ourselves as human beings. We have residential areas. These are for human habitation. And that's where my department normally deals with. Anytime the request comes from cabinet or the ministry to lands as administrators, they send it to physical planning. We determine and advise where such lands can be available and how they can be used. We advise them and we give them a basis to any development that is going to do. They survey it, bring it back to us for rest of that, and then procedures follow from lands to ministry, ministry to cabinet, cabinet back to ministry, and lands, they do the administration. My ministry or my department does not do any administration of land. But we tell you what land can be used for and how it can be used and where it can be.
All right. This commission, of course, focuses on the president and his dealings in the system. As far as you know, did any of these allocations to the president go to cabinet?
Not during my time. The only one that has ever come to my time, that has been my penalty.
The only one? Sorry, say that again.
The only one that comes during my time was my detriment.
The only land issue that went to cabinet during your time?
During my time.
What land issue was this?
I think I'm going beyond. That's too personal to me.
It was not connected to the president?
Of course, but it's too personal to me as well.
Was it connected to the president?
It's his wants, which I kick against, if I be in simple terms. He wanted something, I say it shouldn't be.
Yes. Of course, this commission is about the president, so we would be interested in understanding.
Yeah, but I've said it. He wants something, I say you cannot have it.
What land was it?
It's a land within Como St. Mary's.
Did he eventually get it?
Never.
When you left, do you know whether he got it?
No, he didn't have.
Okay. You feel you don't think it's something that will be useful to the commission's investigation?
Well, I am not denying the government of any the commission of any information, because I feel this commission is relevant to me as an individual Gambian. I'm very much interested to give this commission anything that will be relevant, but these ones are just too personal, and I don't feel this is the right place to voice them out.
Okay.
Personal
Right.
to me.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions for the Minister. Witness.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Colley. You may go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
May I have a look at the files? Can you bring me the file, please? Okay.
Honorable Commissioners, I call Mr. Ismaila Sambu.
Modu Koleti anu Modu Koli ay nata nyinin kar la baw men kala wala nyinti ko atefe munanna nunto president ya jamme nyin kene jamalu beje men yalon ko ay wollelu ta ke ka atayato ate munen mira soto je ate men tandige wala nyinti ko ate de ala place o mi yalon ko wala ministre bundati men marta dinkira la dame ala wolem keno la kuolti ako itol ka menke de wolem nyindi ko nin ko naate tel kan nin silola keno la karola itol ka yamar lole di pour kayitandi kene kari fo a ñanta kela sabati dulalti bam fo a ñanta kela dulalti dami alon ko wo ñanta mabola pour sinin samo kammala e kaf me risaflan ako bari ko dolbe je men yalon ko keno la karola natara bitani silola wakata cabinet le ning adiamuta cabinet ay nay tolla ministre bundala ni tela ministre bunda fana ya jube o kole se la sartolta kawolu landi kana ko nyi murundi cabinet ya nyinin ka ko fo nyin kenen nano la karola fo la ko nene futata cabinet ba ko hanide wol nene man futa ja ko bari ate ala miroto haklo be sinya kilinkan dami yalon ko keno dole nene sotota wola ko nene tata cabinet le ya nyinin ka mun kenele woda ko de wo mu couleur mi yalon ko kullole mu bare atas men fono wala ente ko ya jamme laftanu keno dolla mi yalon ko abe kanifin tundola bare atel lota la kaytandala ko keno ta sotonola ya aytandi ko fanan fasa sedano ko keno nyin anada soto bang ate Mr. Kolide atendenda ko hani atela londo la karola de ya jamme o keno a kata nyawnyang a sindo a buldum barama o keno nyin sotono wala nara ke kumote me yalon ko ay wala fo commission nyin na karola commission la nyaton ko me yalon ko wala siranti banyinti wonata ka kuma kanul men yalon ko be dendin kayti nano la kene nano la karola pour ka wol dundi yake sede jarolti me yalon ko awetara dendin nyen commission la karola kenol men yalon ko idita modu koli kabirin abe sanji killing makamoto kake ministati kenolu la karola Gambia banko kanjang hani bi badingolo ko nga fale nyamen ron jane commissioner lom bi lungoto be tembo men to fanan kuwo kurundi natara ko abe dending commission nyin na karola atal kumpala ay Africa television o ba na felalel comme nga fale nyamen modu koli atela tariko la karola ako mole mi alon ko ay sanji tan saba anin sabale doku Gambia mansakunda kodo atabe fanna men na dro wala mu mansakunda rengol nin keno la karola o dinkrata be wolto ay director makamo mara anara ke minister ti sanji kile wucho kono kabo 2013 July kada 2013 2014 so ka 2013 kada fu 2014 sanji kile wucho kono akeda minister ti wo place o nyindo anun alo place o nyim fanan kono anata itandiro ke kode ate ma beta dinkrato dami alon ko akeda signerol te kenanani la karola ate wetande commission la badingolo jane commission fengo ferendi natara ko abe kala bilung la don mba futandi la lele ay Africa television o nyinna fanna nyinna nalon ko ate me bala mo fulanjamo bina dunna mi yalon ko fana mina ka ñinin karo ni jabiro soto atala sede a karo mi yalon ko commission be la firin asi wala itandi membe dendi nen kayto la membe la rek ate mari la karo
Please hold the Holy Quran by your right.
Bismillah.
Yes. And repeat this oath after me.
I can't hear you. I repeat after
Can
you.
you please, yes,
Okay.
repeat it. Say, I swear by the Almighty Allah that
I swear by the Almighty Allah that. I swear by the Almighty Allah that
the evidence I shall give to this commission
the evidence I shall give to this commission
shall be the truth,
shall be the
the
truth,
whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me Allah.
So help me Allah.
That's it. Thank you.
Could you state your names, please? What are your names, please?
I cannot hear you.
What are your names? What is your name?
My name's Ismail Kabasam.
Please sit down, Mr. Sam. Can you help him sit down, please? Mr. Sambu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm right in front of you. What do you do at the moment? By way of living, what do you do at the moment?
Well, I'm just at home.
Mm.
Yes, preparing for my grave. That is worshiping Allah alone.
Yeah?
I don't engage in any other thing. I'm being supported by my sons who are scattered all over the globe, friends and relatives. I'm not engaged.
That, okay. You were minister in the previous government. You served as minister in the previous government.
Yes, indeed, ma'am.
During what period?
2005 to 2010.
Did you serve in any other office in government?
Which government, ma'am?
The previous government or the government before that?
I served in the previous government also in the diplomatic field as High Commissioner and also as Ambassador.
Right. So when were you?
The previous government, which I served most, I was in the previous government, the First Republic, working with the cooperatives movement for 25 years.
You were in the First Republic for 25 years?
First Republic, yes.
Yes. What offices did you hold?
Well, from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, I started as a small summary clerk, then to a cooperative secretary.
Where? In which department?
I mean, all under the cooperative union.
Cooperative, sorry?
Cooperative union.
Cooperative union. What year was this?
Which I am a pensioner of, cooperative union.
What year was this?
Beg your pardon, ma'am?
What year did you start?
Which year did I?
Start working at the cooperative union?
As late as 1964.
From 1964?
Yes.
Okay, up to, in the first government, up to what office? You rose to what office?
I rose from the lowest, summary clerk, secretary, to coordinator, to field operations coordinator, to assistant management.
Apart from cooperative union, did you work anywhere else in the previous government, in the Jawara government?
In the previous government, I was still within the cooperative. I worked with ILO as counterpart assistant, still but under the cooperative union. And after that, I didn't work for any other capacity in the previous, First Republican government.
So all your work was in the cooperative union?
Was in the
first
cooperative,
Republic?
yes, movement, I can say, but being paid by the cooperative union.
Okay, so you joined central government during Yahya Jammeh's government. You joined the central government. Did you work in the central government?
Yes, I was engaged then from my own project, which is an NGO, a lot of German NGOs, where they came and found me to say, well, I'm wanted. So I went and answered, and I was given a letter that I'm appointed as. They said, open it. I opened it, I read it, and then I saw, say, sit down, I sat. They read it, I read it. Oh, say, I'm appointing you as an, Minister of Local Government and Lands. That's what, just like that.
Okay.
Yes.
At the time, were you Alcalo?
Then I was Alcalo.
Alcalo of which village?
Of Dasilami village.
Dasilami.
Yes, Dasilami village, Combo Central South, West Coast region. Well, you have Dasilami, which is a word in Birkama. Some people mistake it with our Dasilami.
Yes, Combo South. We record show that it's in Combo South. Now, so you served as
Dasilami is
minister
Combo
for 5 years.
Central South, after the new division, Combo Central
South.
Yes.
All right. So you served as minister for local government for 5 years.
Indeed, ma'am.
After the 5 years, what happened?
I was relieved from that post, and then after 2 weeks, I was appointed again to become the High Commissioner Senegal, concurrently also as ambassador to Mali and Burkina Faso.
For how long?
The contract said 4 years, but I served less than that, and I was just called upon to say I'm wanted, I should come down and answer to the President's office. I went to the office of the then Secretary to the President, Mr. Ba Njogu. And I could not meet him. Then I was waiting, going up and down, then trying to see them. Then I went to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. They said, okay, oh, you've been there already. You should have come here first at the ministry. Then we go there together. Then I was reporting to the ministry for several times. Up till now, that appointment is not yet fixed.
Okay.
So until the permanent secretary took it upon himself to say, well, Mr. Sambu, so I think you, let me give you a letter to terminate, you can go, then and then wind up, back and come back, up till now. But that termination letter also accompanied with a letter which is not in my name anyway.
So your last office was when you were ambassador?
Beg your pardon?
That was your last office as ambassador?
My last?
Your last office was as ambassador?
As ambassador indeed, ma'am.
What year was this?
I can't remember, if I can remember. I do not expect such questions, but you know, I don't even...
You can't remember?
2013.
2013.
2013. I was there part of 10, then 11, 12. Then 13 I came back. I was recalled.
You were recalled?
Yes.
And since then you did not serve in any other capacity?
No.
Okay. Thank you for that. You were someone Mr. Sambu, in connection to the period you served as Minister for Local Government and Lands.
Indeed.
As you know, this commission is looking at the ex-president, his financial dealings, and the lands he accumulated over the period he was president.
That's right.
We find, so far we have seen that whilst you were minister,
That's right.
you allocated or you issued him leases in respect of about 28 properties.
That's right.
You have been shown these properties. Now, we won't go through all 28. We've been trying to look at the files and the basis of your allocation of these properties to him. And we would like to hear from you generally why you allocated him and issued to him leases for so many properties.
That's right.
But there are certain properties in particular that we would like to ask you questions on.
That's right.
Let's start with the general question. 28, one person. Why?
Yes.
And these are not small strips of land. These are in hectares. So if you have any general answer, we would like to hear that first
Yes,
before we discuss
That's
the
right.
some of the specific allocations you made to him.
I received a call from a lady by the name of Miss Danso,
Miss?
which really put me in the right perspective, in the right thinking, in the picture. So last night, I have something in general.
Okay, so last
I
night
draft something
you
just
made a statement.
in general. I say, well, if, yeah, I don't know, because it is, I was not questioned, according to the letter I received from my legal knowledge, whether it was referring to, for me to make a testimony of general or in particular of certain things the commission feel that I part of it or connected to it, or particularly in my own village or other satellite villages around my village. Well, I say, well, I don't know, but let me do something that is.
Mr. Sambu, you've already spoken to the investigators on 2 occasions.
Yes.
Yes, and you made statements. One of them is in connection to a layout in Cape Point. Yes. We will come to that. And the other is generally, you made a general statement.
That's right.
I have those. Yes, but you were informed that you're being invited concerning all the land that
That's right.
you issued to the president.
See,
Yes.
this
So-
why I said, okay, ma'am.
Yes. Do you have, are you saying you wrote something down for the commission?
This just last night after that telephone conversation, because when I read the letter, the summons letter, my understanding, and when I speak with people on the phone, or when I am facing the investigator here, when I come here and we are talking.
Sorry. I thought the pending question is, why did you allocate 28 landed properties
To the ex-president, yes.
to one person?
One man, yes.
Have we got an answer to that?
No.
Well, can we please get an answer?
I think he's going to answer. I think these are all a prelude to answering that.
Why did I?
Allocate 28 leases of substantial lands to one man, the ex-president.
One man.
Yes, ex-president.
I do not do allocation. I approve allocations. I do not do allocations to any person. What I used to do is, or what is my responsibility is, approval of land that has been already allocated, certified by the technicians, that is Director of Lands, and his staff, together with the Director of Physical Planning and his staff and their boards, which I'm not a member of any board, land administration, land surveys. I'm not a member of those boards. I've never sat in any of those boards. And they don't deal with me, they deal with their directors and the director staff, the professional technicians who go out, look for land that one person is asking for or requesting. For what purpose? They are the ones who have that knowledge and experience, and they've been trained on that. And I found them doing that. So I should not interfere in that, so I just wait until they bring me whatever file they bring, and then with the minutes, I will read the file up to where finally, after the final, the director and his deputy's recommendations, the minutes, and up to the deputy permanent secretary, technical, professional, then from that to the permanent secretary. Then finally, when they, at the center of file, they recommend and seeking for approval based on whatever was written inside the file. So I approve. But I don't, then when they are conveying that approval to you, in the letter is written, the minister, we are pleased to inform the minister allocate, but by approving your allocation. I approve allocations, but I do not allocate. The allocator is the one who goes on the land, on the ground, to see what you have asked for. Is it this type of land or this size? Where is it available? What type is it? Then with all those knowledge, they finally recommend with their board and everything. They bring the file, then you go through the file. At the center of file, you read all their recommendations, and then now they're asking you for approval. So I approve allocations. Why I don't allocate? I approve allocations, but I don't allocate.
We hear what you're saying. You were the minister.
Yes.
And you, of course, at the time you were aware of the State Lands Act or the Land Provinces Act. Were you? You were aware of your powers under the State Lands Act or the Lands Provinces Act. The law which gave you the power to approve and issue leases, you were aware of them.
Yes, the law empowered me to approve what has been recommended to me for approval.
Therefore, you knew that without your approval, the land does not belong to the person recommended unless you approved it.
Yes.
So the responsibility, the final responsibility, was on you to approve or disapprove.
No, that is not a responsibility.
The final responsibility was on you, whether to approve or to disapprove.
I don't know.
Is that not so?
No, I would not say directly. The responsibility is mine. But I not recommend that it should be given. I approved the recommendation according to the recommended whatever minutes that this man should have this land.
Mr.
They have
Sambu,
verified all that with their board. surveying or what mapping, or I don't know those on land. When I look at the land on the paper and when I go to the very land, I cannot see the difference of the land that is shown on paper and the actual land that I'm standing on. They are the ones who are professionals in that field.
Okay. Mr. Sambu,
Yes,
do you think one man should own 28 landed properties that are 28 landed properties allocated by the state, given to him by the state? Do you think one man should be given 28 properties by the state?
I do not allocate more than one land to anybody.
Say that
Just
again.
on my own, no.
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't hear.
I said I never allocate more than one land to any person for any reason or whatever. That is not my area of scrutinizing. And then really, I do not do the
Mr.
surveying
Sambu.
and all what on the mapping.
Mr. Sambu, my question is a very simple one.
Yes.
Do you think one man
Yes.
should be allocated 28 plots and allocated and granted leases of 28 plots by the state?
I mean, that should not be done. From what I later on come to understand, that every Gambian should own one state land allocation. This is why even me myself, I do not own land. I do not allocate myself. Since when I started to know this, during my service, during my experience in the job, that
But you
hearing it from their mouth, those technicians.
You said you came to understand that one man should only have one state allocation.
Every Gambian is entitled to one state land allocation. So I said, well, now I want to build, I don't have a land, so I was allocated one during Landing Jallo Sonko's time in the First Republic.
If that is the case, Mr. Sambo,
Yes.
leases were brought to you. Leases were brought to you to allocate land to the ex-president himself personally or to his company, Kanilai Family Farms. And these leases numbered up to 28, and you approved all of them. Why?
I did not approve because of his or because of it. What the technician said, he is going to build something that pertains to business. Kanilai Farm, or I don't know their names now, I can't remember, so many different names. But in his own particular name, really right now I cannot remember, but very rare I found that he's been allocated, and the technician did not inform me that it's for something, which is for development. And I'm interested in the development of the country. This is why I do not go on doing red tape business when I was there, waiting for people to come and see me or do whatever, or for you to explain to me, why do you want it? That has been done already. So there was no bureaucracy really with me. And even when I'm closing, I go home with files so that I know people are waiting for their files. Some are telling for collateral at the banks, or for other businesses, and this what they inform me, those technicians.
All right. I'll just draw your attention to certain specific leases that were granted, and I'd like you to explain. Now, the first one, which I'd like you to explain, is land in Fajara, called the Fajara Water Tank Allocation. This is Exhibit LL2A10. The minutes in the file, that's the Director of Lands and Surveys file, SL/89/2009, indicate the following as the reasons why he was being allocated this land. There is a minute to DPS 1, I think. I'm going to show you the file shortly. And it's minute 2. And it says, please find at center of file a letter of allocation and unprepared list documents for signature. Please be informed that it was decided by the Honorable SOS as a special birthday present to His Excellency the President on the occasion of his birthday due on the 25th of May 2009. You may wish to forward same through the PS for the Honorable SOS for your endorsement and his approval accordingly. And it is signed by the person I presume to be Director of Lands. Then it was minute to the PS, and the PS then says, SOS, lease documents at center of file submitted for your signatures, respective signatures, with reference to minute 2, which is the minute I just read. And it was then submitted to you again by someone else, signing A. Kinte, I think, but I'm not sure. And then you signed approved. I'm going to give you the file. And the leases were, of course, issued. Lease SR number K353, 2009, and 10,885.75 square meters, which is about 120 meters by 91 meters square. And it's next to the Nawek water tank at Atlantic Road. Can you show the witness the file?
What's the file now? What's the exhibit?
LL2A10. LL2A10.
2A, 10. Then 10.
Correct.
Can you give me the other one?
Badingolo mbal konto na bake kal haklo blandi drong ko albe ay Africa television o nying albe wollelu no makang ning jane commission betembo men to de mo fula
Have you had time to look at the file?
wala nata jane commission o nying to o lekata mode mi alako ako atomo Ismaila Kaba Sambu
You signed the lease.
Atene
Says Honorable,
minister
you approved and you signed. What I want to understand, because we are trying to really...
allocate President birthday state land, I disagree. That is unfounded.
Well, that's what the minute says, and it was minuted, and it reached you, and you approved it.
See this minute. I don't know. This is why I'm looking at it properly.
Sorry, you're saying you never saw the minute when you approved it? Is that what you're saying?
Proof whatever is recommended. But to say, I did not see the minute that's saying that it's from me, minuting it to them to say, let them minute it back to me, PU, so that I can allocate it. No, to give as a gift? No.
That's your signature on the lease, is that not so?
Signature doesn't
That's
mean
your
that
signature
I
on the lease.
make the decision, I not give the instruction.
Mr. Sambu, is that your signature on the
It's
lease?
my signature
Okay.
on the list. Now let me look at the list. I did not look at the I was looking at the minutes.
You can look at the minutes again. Did you approve the allocation? Yes. Look at the lease.
This means really, I cannot
Okay, thank you.
remember. I can see my signature, but really, I know definitely that cannot be done. And that should not
You
be
know
done.
definitely? Sorry?
I doubt if I have seen this.
You doubt?
My signature, I cannot remember now. When was it? June 2009.
Can you collect the exhibit? There are quite a number of files, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll just draw this, some of the significant allocations. The most substantial, they're all significant. The most substantial, and I'd like you to explain. You also approved and issued a lease, although the minutes, there are no minutes basically, except that land premium has been paid, of land on the coastal highway. Can you show him this list, exhibit LL2A16, which according to the master plan falls under the green belt. It was allocated through Kanilai Family Farms. You also allocated land on the Banjul-Serekunda Highway for aquaculture, which we all see and is fenced, 30.74 hectares, Banjul Aquaculture Farm. You also allocated land in Mile 7, Bakau, the triangle, which it says is for a multipurpose center. This land lies between the Bakau Road and the Combo Coastal Road and the Methodist Academy. That is the Can you give him these, please?
This one I could not see the minutes from
Yes, you also allocated to him land on
permanent secretary. I don't see any minutes which I read and didn't do something.